with the showcase of the Immortals just a few hours away from WrestleMania going down. And now we are at the peak of the WrestleMania weekend. It does not get any bigger than this. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the biggest cerebral smack talk of the year. It is WrestleMania weekend, and we are live. Good old MF Michael Fletcher, the Phenom Michael Bullock, and the ridiculously over the Professor Anthony Florio. And we are here for the next hour to get you guys ready for WrestleMania, but more importantly, to parlay into the WWE Hall of Fame, as that will be jumping off in just a matter of, as a matter of fact, in about less than a couple of hours, will be the Hall of Fame induction ceremony, and we will have that live as well. So, till then, for the moment, we will jump off with TNA Unbreakable. This will be me and Anthony Florio will be giving you the recap of this show from the Cox Pavilion in Las Vegas, Nevada. This was held last night on the TNA Plus. And here we go. So we started out with the first matchup. This was one of the three-way fights to determine the new TNA International Champion, as we had Eric Young, JDC, and Zachary Wentz. And Eric Young won the match in 8 minutes and 50 seconds. First fight of the night. It was a solid match. I mean, it was about maybe a 2.5-star bout. Look, normally these three ways are going to be very difficult to predict, but we did think that Eric Young was probably going to get the Duke over here. So actually no big surprise on the outcome. Eric Young advances to the final match later on in the evening, where if he wins the match, whoever wins that match becomes the new and first ever TNA International Champion. So nothing more to say. Anthony Florio, I get this about 2.5 stars. Eric Young winning the match in 8 minutes and 50 seconds, advancing to the championship fight later in the night.
Yes, 2.5 stars. They only had so much time here, and this could have been on any given edition of Impact. That being said, they needed something to fill in the time, so having two of the three first-round matches is not a bad idea. Eric Young moving forward is not the most interesting choice, but there is a good chance he doesn't win anyway. So we'll see how that goes later on. But this is a 2.5, maybe 2 3/4 at best. So let's move on to the other international tournament match.
The other international tournament match that we had was Steve Macklin going one-on-one with Eddie Airwoods and Ace Austin. Steve Macklin wins the match in 9 minutes and 54 seconds. Anthony, it is yours.
3 1/4. This was a more action-packed match than the opener, and it worked well, with the still popular Macklin going on to the title picture. While I could have gone for Ace Austin winning the title in Chris Bay's honor, this was a good way to go as well. If nothing else, the system losing is always can throw some good fits. So give me about 3 to 3 1/4 on this one. So MF, your thoughts?
Yeah, about 3 stars. I thought it was a solid match. I thought they did a really good job with it. I thought it was could have been better in certain areas, but I'm not going to be too egregious about it. I thought they did a very good job with it. So we'll just move right on along. Next up we had was Moose going one-on-one with Sydney Acom. And it was Moose winning in 8:54. This was an all right fight. I don't think it was anything special. I mean, another 2.5-star bout. I thought it was fine for what it was worth. It really didn't. It didn't really blow me away, to say the very least. But I will say it was a solid match regardless. So nothing more to say. Anthony Moose wins.
Yeah, 3 stars. By the way, Sydney Akeem, formerly Reggie in WWE. So Sydney Akeem is Reggie, and he is now in TNA. This is how Sidney Akeem can be best used, as he got to do his high spots and flips before losing to the bigger star. Moose cutting down a traditionally flippy guy is a good way to go for his X Division title reign, and that's the direction they seem to have been going. It's working well, and if Akeem stays more serious like this, he's fine for an occasional appearance. So this is a solid 3-star match and a good debut for the former Reggie in WWE. Wouldn't you say, MF? As I give it to you, 3 stars.
Yeah, no doubt about it. 3 stars. No, fair assessment to say. Next up, we had was the 6-man tag team fight. Mustafa Ali and the Namath brothers going up against Mike Santana and the Hardys, and it was Mike Santana and the Hardys winning the match in 12 minutes and 40 seconds. Anthony, it's yours.
To this point, the fight of the night here. This was the best match on the show up to this point. This was 3 1/4, 3.5 stars. I like seeing 2 feuds combined like this, and it worked rather well here. The Hardys beating the Nemets is a fine way to go, and the tease of Mike Santana versus Mustafa Ali makes things that much better. Both of the big matches will take place at the Rebellion pay-per-view. I'm definitely curious and intrigued to see how they go, making this a perfectly fine preview and showcase for that. And there's been an indemnity to the Santana and Ali match for Rebellion. That match is now going to be contested under Falls Count Anywhere rules. So, they just made that match a lot more fun come Rebellion on next Sunday night on the 27th. So, for right now, this is a good 3 1/4 to 3.5 star match. And this was the best the best match on the show up to this moment. So not much more to say. MF, two of the big matches for Rebellion, and now Ali and Santana now will be battling under the rules of Falls Count Anywhere. Oh my, that's going to be fun. MF, it's yours here. 3 1/4, 3.5.
3 1/4 for me. I apologize. Had to unmute my mic, but it was fine for what it was worth. Yes, I think they did a really good job with it. I cannot wait for Falls Count Anywhere. That was a great announcement to make, no doubt about it. Next up, we had was Joe Henry and Masha Slamovich. They went up against Frankie Kazarian and Tessa Blanchard. It was Joe Henry and Masha Slamovich winning in 14-10. Solid matchup. Another 3 1/4 star bout. I thought it was a very good matchup. Everybody played their roles really well. Everybody played their roles really well on this one. Obviously, another two big storylines here. Obviously, Masha versus Tessa for the TNA Knockouts Women's title coming up at Rebellion as well. That's going to be a very crucial moment. And Joe Henry just keeps chugging along, keeps the momentum as the heavyweight champion of the world. So solid 3 1/4. Anthony, it's yours.
3 1/4, 3.5 for this as well. This was the same idea as the previous match, as they tied 2 feuds into one match and even gave us some intergender matches. That is not a bad way to go. And the ending leaves me curious about a title change, as Frankie Kazarian losing is something of a red flag. And Tessa Blanchard versus Masha Slamovich feels like a huge match, and I'm really not sure where it goes, which is a nice feeling to have. Although I'm leaning a bit towards Tessa winning the title. But we'll see. So that was a 3 1/4 to 3.5 star bout for this as well. And then we moved on to something that has not been seen in several months. And we had ourselves a rare feel-good moment in TNA, MF.
Yeah. Barb Wire Massacre.
Yes.
Sami Callihan versus Manus Warner. 19 minutes, 10 seconds of brutality. It was Sami Callihan coming out with the win. Anthony Florio, we said it was going to be violent. We said it was going to be crazy. Dear Lord, did they tear it down in Vegas?
I'll do you one better. They burned it down.
Yes.
There is no doubt about that in my mind whatsoever. That was not the feel good moment I was talking about. Before this match, there was a little moment before this match where Chris Bay showed up. We saw Chris Bay for the first time since that gruesome injury he suffered months ago. And what a special moment that was. And definitely not a dry eye in the house on that one. And to see him and Ace Austin back together there, awesome. I mean,
Bay's slowly getting better too. You can see he's walking a lot more better. I mean, he recently walked. He needed assistance, but he's walking. So I mean, yeah, he's looking better and better by the day, man.
he is. And it's absolutely incredible. And it was one of the coolest things that I've seen in wrestling in a long time. So special moment to see Chris Bay, the ultimate finesse, back. All right, getting back to this. I'm going to be honest. A lot of people have crapped on this match. A lot of people absolutely. Every review that I've read and come across hated this match. You can't please everybody. But guess what? If I'm the only one who liked this match, then I'm the only one who liked this match. This was absolutely phenomenal. 4.25 to 4.5 stars. This was absolutely fantastic. I mean, you think about it, and you think about all of the spots that they had in this match, and I mean, they took it to new levels, and yeah, a little surprised about the outcome. I honestly thought Mance Warner was going to win this, but hey, give it up for Sami Callihan. I mean, it's nice to see him get a big win. It's been a while since he's had a monumental win, and I'll give him credit for that one. But 4.25 to 4.5 for me. I know we're probably the only people who probably like this match. Like I said, MF, a lot of almost every review that I have read for this match, everybody absolutely poo-pooed all over it. And I can understand why. Slow and plotty in spots, I get it.
Yep.
It was overkill. I get it. I mean, it was as advertised. And a lot of people thought that was not the best thing to see. They said it was fine for what it was, but having that much barbed wire and over the top violence was not their thing.
They actually were comparing it. I know there was a couple of people comparing it to some of the brutality they see in AEW.
Yep.
I heard some people call it that it was a little too much violence in the match, and that they felt like it was more of that this would be something we would have seen from or this would be stunts that would have been pulled in AEW. I mean,
yep.
I'll give you for what it's worth, but the thing is that this was barbed wire this was a barbed wire massacre. What did you expect it to be? So I'll give TNA a pass here because they don't do these type of matches very often. And a lot of times they'll say, "Oh, but it was a little too much." Yes, we get it. But I'm with Anthony. This is a 4-star bout. I actually didn't mind the over stuff. I just saw brutality, violence, and destruction. And that is exactly what this needed it to be. If this is the blow off of this rivalry, then that's a hell of a way to go out. I don't care what the naysayers say. You guys can go to a special place in hell for all I care. That's all I say about that. But I'll say this. This was a very good matchup. 4 stars for me. Let's go into the main event, which was the final. It was literally an unbreakable 3-way to determine the first ever TNA International Champion, Steve Macklin, AJ Francis, and Eric Young, winner of the bout in 13 minutes and 10 seconds, and the first ever TNA International Champion, Steve Macklin, wins the title. History made, unprecedented crowning. And this was again another three and a quarter, 3.5 star bout. I thought they did a very good job with this. Happy for Macklin. I know, Anthony, you kind of was like, I think Macklin could get this. You weren't really like 1,000% sure about it, because I think we all were thinking AJ Francis possibly. But hey, after what Macklin went through the entire night to win the title, I have no problems with him being the first ever international champion. I think he deserves it. And what a way to win it in Vegas at the Cox Pavilion. Anthony Florio, 3.25 is yours.
3.25, 3.5 again. I do have a small bit of constructive criticism. It was a fine enough match, but it really didn't feel like any kind of a special showdown. I get trying to tie it into the original Unbreakable, but the second you start bringing that match up, you're putting yourself in an unreasonable circumstance. And that's what we had here. And it made for a match that, while entertaining, never lived up to its hype. I'm more than good with Steve Macklin winning the title. I mean, two years ago, he won the TNA Heavyweight Championship at the Rebellion pay-per-view after Josh Alexander vacated it, and he defeated Kushida to win it. And it's nice that they gave him another title run here. He definitely deserves it, and there's really nothing else left to say. So another 3.25, 3.5. So let's get to the overall review here.
And it's you. You lead off.
For me, this was a 7 out of 10. A lot of this is going to depend on your taste in the barbed wire massacre. I've heard people some other criticisms where it went on far longer than anything else on the show, and it dragged things down. But Chris Bay's return was one of the best things I can remember seeing in wrestling or anywhere for a long time. For a bonus show, this was perfectly fine, but Rebellion is going to have a bit more pressure on it now, and that's not a good thing. And that being said, I like having TNA get involved in WrestleMania weekend, as they are more than big enough to warrant a spot there. So this was a solid 7, maybe 7.5 out of 10. So, MF, your thoughts, and then we'll get into WrestleMania SmackDown.
Yeah, I say 7 out of 10. I think they did a really good job, and yeah, there's really nothing more to add. So 7 out of 10, and yeah, there's really nothing more to say. So let's move on to the WrestleMania SmackDown. Started out from the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada, and we started with a promo by Seth freaking Rollins, and he was just laying out everything. Laying out about his matchup, Roman Reigns, CM Punk. This was excellent by the Visionary. Excellent by the Revolutionary. Excellent job by Seth freaking Rollins. Whoa. But, it was good. Great final push. Great final build. Well done by Seth Rollins. You didn't really need nothing else to do here. Just give us what we want, and we'll see you tomorrow night on the main event of night 1. Anthony Florio, you lead off.
An intensely personal promo that earned him the respect of the fans in Las Vegas. It was the perfect cap to a story that has lacked stakes, one that conveyed to the live and viewing audiences how important this bout is to Seth Rollins. This was a fantastic way to kick off the show. Seth Rollins said, Roman Reigns knows nothing about sacrifice. CM Punk knows nothing about sacrifice. I know everything about sacrifice. And he also said this story began 12 years ago when Paul Heyman brought Roman Reigns, myself, and he also name-dropped Dean Ambrose Jon Moxley into WWE, and it ends tomorrow night in the most important triple threat match of all time. So how about that? A name drop of Moxley. So, but anyways, like I said, excellent promo to start things off. So, not much more to say. Michael Bullock, Phenom, come on in. Let's get your thoughts as Seth freaking Rollins opens up WrestleMania SmackDown with an intensely personal promo and a fantastic way to start this show tonight.
Yeah, this was definitely fantastic. Great way to start it off, and you could just see how much this match means to Seth freaking Rollins, because like you said, it was a long time ago that Paul Heyman brought Rollins and Reigns in, and he says it ends tomorrow night. It ends during the main event of night one. And yeah, I mean, I cannot wait to see what happens here. I mean, obviously talking about CM Punk. Hey, oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry about that.
No, that's okay. You're good.
Yeah, it was just my dad popping in, so just wanted to let you know that. So, but yeah, CM Punk. Basically, Rollins was saying, "Oh, how he comes back 10 years after he left, and he only cares about himself." So, yeah, he was really hyping it, and all I can say is, "Let's go." So, there's really nothing more to say. It is yours. Oh.
All right. And with that said, so the next up we had, well, it has become a staple of WrestleMania SmackDown. The Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royale. 26 men were in this Battle Royale. The final four were Nakamura, Carmelo Hayes, Rey Fenix, and Andrade. And Andrade eliminated Nakamura. Then Carmelo, and then Rey Fenix was going for something, but then El Grande Americano showed up and eliminated Rey Fenix. Oh, I think we got problems now, boys. We'll get into that in a little bit. Final two were Andrade and Carmelo Hayes. And the winner of the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royale in 15 minutes and 30 seconds, Mello is money. Carmelo Hayes is him. He wins the Battle Royale. Anthony Florio. Carmelo did it. SmackDown wins. He's won the Battle Royale.
Yes, he did. And with the battle down to familiar foes, Carmelo Hayes and Andrade, fans inside the T-Mobile Arena came alive for the resumption of their rivalry. Counters and reversals defined their brief back and forth before Hayes dumped El Idolo and scored what was arguably the most important win of his main roster career and his biggest win of his main roster career to date. This was a fun battle royal down the stretch, featuring a ton of talent that could fill out a card of their own. Carmelo Hayes winning was a great boost for a guy who struggled to catch on with a sustained story throughout his first year on the main roster. And like Bronson Reed last year, will hopefully have the opportunity to go on a great run throughout the rest of the year. And Chad Gable's commitment to proving he is not El Grande Americano by competing in this match so he can have his WrestleMania moment is excellent. Luchadors surrounded Chad Gable, teed off on him, and eliminated him to continue that story thread. The boos rained down from the stands as hometown favorite Karrion Kross was eliminated by Dragon Lee. And Carmelo Hayes and Andrade in the Final Four was a nice ode to their months-long feud, resulting in that epic best-of-7 series. 3.5 stars. I know these matches are usually very tricky to rate, as we've been saying, and we have well documented over the last few weeks with all these gauntlet matches and whatnot. But battle royals are also tough, but not this time for me. This was easily 3.5 stars, and this ranks up there as one of the best Andre the Giant battle royals since they started this concept 11 years ago at WrestleMania 30 when Cesaro won the very first one. It ranks right up there with that one. So nice win for Carmelo Hayes. And let's just hope that this is the beginning of bigger and better things. I thought he was getting a little bit lost in the shuffle for a little bit. But with a win like this, hopefully this will be the start of bigger and better things post WrestleMania for him. So 3.5 stars for me. So there isn't much more to say. Michael Bullock, Carmelo Hayes. Melo is money. Melo don't miss. And easily the biggest win of his main roster career so far. I see bigger and better things coming for him post WrestleMania.
Oh yeah, I definitely could see it too for Carmelo Hayes. Definitely a big win for him to win this battle royal, and like you said, hopefully it leads to bigger and better things for him for the remainder of the year. Because, like you said, I thought it looked like he was going to get lost in the shuffle, but who knows? This could be the turnaround. So 3.5 stars for me. It's yours, Fletch.
3.5 stars. Excellent battle royale. I definitely enjoyed it. I love the outcome. I don't mind that Carmelo Hayes won it all. I don't mind it. I thought that he did really well with it. And yeah, um, bigger and better things, very possible. So we'll see how it plays out. Next up, we got is, well, Rhea Ripley, interrupted by Io Sky, interrupted by Bianca Belair. Then Naomi came out to address Bianca Belair. That brought Jade Cargill out. Oh, Michael Bullock, it exploded in Vegas here tonight.
Oh yeah, it definitely exploded. I mean, at first I thought we were only going to get well, of course, hearing Rhea Ripley, I thought it was only going to be from the participants in the women's world title match. But all of a sudden, Naomi comes out and she's like, I've been texting you, I've been leaving you voicemails, you haven't picked up. But Bianca's like, I'm more focused on this. I mean, you did what you did and it upset me. And then Jade Cargill comes out and then Bianca's like right in front. She's like, why the hell are you trying to defend her? And that's when it exploded and Io was getting disrespected again and she stood tall over literally every the participants. So yeah, this was definitely crazy. And I don't know about you, Fletch, but when they brought out Naomi in this, part of me is like, is she going to drop the bomb that Bianca was involved?
Yeah, there was a look, there was a thought about it. I thought about it
I
too.
was that
I
part
kind
of
of
me
heard.
was
I
like,
was like, oh, wait.
and if she did, Bianca's going to be like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
And if you notice, Fletch, during the segment, the crowd was booing Bianca.
yeah, like loudly,
I think this is the
loudly.
first time in I don't know how long that they've actually done it because we kept
Yeah,
wondering. I mean, we've heard the rumors we've heard that they were turning on her, but I've yet to hear it from the crowd at some of these shows. But they showed it.
yeah. So we'll wait and see how it plays out. But yeah, absolutely. All right, yeah. Everything was fine. I thought they did a really good job. I thought the storyline was really well done, and yeah, there's really nothing more to add. So Anthony Florio, it's yours. Like I said, it exploded, and then some.
How does one wrap up the bill to 2 of the 4 women's division matches? By including them in one segment, of course. While some will argue that Triple H's approach to the final hype for the Women's World Championship Triple Threat match between Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair, and Io Sky, and Jade Cargill versus Naomi was somewhat lazy, the segment actually meshed both programs together in a way that made sense. Naomi interrupting Bianca Belair and questioning her loyalty since the EST has ignored her texts and calls made sense due to the disconnect that has existed between them since the former admitted she attacked Cargill. That Jade Cargill interrupted and chaos ensued between the five women, ending with Io Sky reminding the world of who she is and what she can do come Sunday night, only put an exclamation point on things. While the creative leading to the three-way title match has been lacking, this was a fine way to shine a light on the women's division and two matches that should have fans paying close attention when the bell rings. Ripley said this one is probably the most important one to me. Her 6th championship match in a row at WrestleMania. Io Sky was once again disrespected, not even able to speak before Bianca Belair made her entrance to complete the triple threat picture. The look on Rhea's face when Naomi's music played was all of us. And Rhea Ripley stepped between Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair, teasing a matchup the wrestling world would likely pay copious amounts of money to see in Rhea Ripley and Jade Cargill. Another very good segment, to say the very least, and we move on now to a battle for the WWE Tag Team Championship.
Yes, it was. It was the Street Profits versus the Motor City Machine Guns. And unfortunately, the fight gets thrown out in 8 minutes and 40 seconds because of DIY. They jump in, the fight gets thrown out. This was unfortunate. The match was fine. The crowd not really completely into it, which was a damn shame. But all this, I'm sorry, bro. You got no. This has to be added to WrestleMania. You got to give us one more fight. There has to be another match. This cannot stand. I cannot allow this to happen. Not tonight of all nights. To me, they got to run this back one more time. We need another run back and do it at WrestleMania. I don't care if it's night 1. I don't care if you put this in night 2. We might have it on night 2 because there's a rumor about something happened. I'll get into it in a little bit. Some breaking news just hit. So I don't know. We'll find out. Until then, Anthony, I don't want to do it, but I got to do it. It's an NA. It's an NA.
Yes. But I'm sure. But here's the thing. I'll get to that, and I'll get to my thing here in just a second. Here, give me a minute here. All right. The book. All right. Triple threat next week on SmackDown. But then again, MF said he has a breaking news, so I'm not going to spoil it for him. I'm not going to steal his thunder here. A pretty bait and switch tactic, and the crowd let them know it during Aldis's announcement. But it is an NA for right now. Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin have earned better than the reaction the WWE fans have given them. They have also earned better creative. This feud, honest to God, should be highlighted on the WrestleMania card. And hopefully something will come out of that. MF said he had some breaking news. I'm looking forward to seeing what he has in just a moment. But I'm sure it's got something to do with this. So I'm not going to steal his thunder here. This is his show. I'm going to let him set the table for that. So unfortunately, it's going to have to be an NA for this one. So not much more to say. Michael Bullock, quick thought on the match. It's obviously an NA. What a damn shame. It was getting really good, too.
Yeah, it was getting really, really good until DIY had to basically ruin it for everybody. So, yeah, unfortunately, this is going to have to be an NA. And, yeah, this match should be on the WrestleMania card, not next week. I think this is a fumble on the part of Nick Aldis. I mean, it's I mean, it's a rarity that we criticize Nick Aldis for something, but I'm sorry, this is the one we have to criticize him for. So there's really nothing more to say. So let's move on, Fletch.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't have anything as it relates to the tag team title situation, but there is something else that I hate to say it, that does put a WrestleMania match in jeopardy, and I will talk about that in a little bit. Um, the next thing that we did have after that was a promo by Randy Orton. Wait, hold. Let me just double check, make sure. Yep, it was a promo by Randy Orton. Then after that, we did have a matchup, a non-title match, as it was Chelsea Green going one-on-one with Zelina Vega. Zelina Vega wins the match in 3 minutes and 35 seconds. This is a cutout. We're going to cut this one out. So, but it is a championship committee moment. So Zelina should get an opportunity at the women's U.S. title, but we don't know. But there was some people talking about maybe putting them on the WrestleMania card, but we don't know. As of now, it doesn't look like that's happening. The earliest that we're hearing is possibly next week on SmackDown. Um, After that, we did have was Solo Sikoa going up against LA Knight. The fight gets thrown out in 3 minutes due to a DQ, but there was but it did lead to a tag team fight. That was LA Knight and Braun Strowman versus Jacob Fatu and Solo Sikoa. LA Knight, Braun Strowman winning the match in 6 minutes and 45 seconds. So I believe this goes to Michael Bullock. So Bullock, it is yours. So Bullock, give me your thoughts on this one. We don't need to talk about the first fight, but the second match is definitely more worthy talk.
Yeah, I'll give this about maybe two, maybe 2.5. I mean, it was a solid match. I mean, but yeah, I mean, LA Knight and Braun Strowman get the win here, and if it's the booking 101, this is literally gonna solidify what we said last night, that Jacob Fatu is gonna walk out as the new United States champion. So nothing more to say. It's yours, Fletch.
Yeah, about 2.5 stars, no doubt about it. I think they did a really good job with it. So there's really nothing more to say. Anthony, it's yours.
Yeah, 2.5 stars for me as well. A high energy tag bout highlighted all 4 superstars and ended with LA Knight sending Jacob Fatu into the commentary team and then pinned Solo Sikoa to score the win for his team. This was a nice showcase for these competitors in the upcoming U.S. title match, but one cannot help but be distracted by how rapidly and far Solo Sikoa has fallen from his run at the top of the company. Not 6 months ago, he was a centerpiece of the Blue brand. Now he misses WrestleMania, a side character in Jacob Fatu's big weekend. And that's and no one DDTs himself quite like Strowman. And Jacob Fatu bumps around the ring like no one else for Braun Strowman. Whether it is his own bumping or his pure athleticism, the Samoan Werewolf might be the most visually impressive professional wrestler in the company right now. And LA Knight was the last man standing here. So yeah, Jacob Fatu is definitely winning the United States Heavyweight Championship tomorrow night. Solid 2.5 stars. 6-man tag team action up next, and let's address that.
6-man tag team fight. Rey Mysterio, Dragon Lee, and Rey Fenix versus all 3 members of American Made, Chad Gable, Julius Creed, and Brutus Creed. When it was all said and done, Rey Mysterio, Dragon Lee, and Rey Fenix winning the match in 12 minutes and 10 seconds. But here is the big story that's coming out of this. It is being reported that Rey Mysterio suffered an injury here tonight on the WrestleMania SmackDown, and they're saying it was a serious one. It's being told that Ray was carted out of the arena, and now his match with El Gran Americano is now up in the air. It's a 50-50 toss-up between Ray and El Grande Americano. That match is now it's up in the air. This might not happen at WrestleMania, guys. Just breaking within the last hour. So definite monitor situation, to say the very least. I think it was a fine matchup for what it was worth. It was about a 3-star bout, but obviously grand concern for Rey Mysterio. We hope he's okay and we hope he's good to go tomorrow night. But there was some insight reports from some fans saying that Ray was hurt, that Ray got hurt, and it's a legit injury. And now they're saying that he was carted out. That's not good. I don't like that news, and I'm really, really, really concerned right now. Anthony Florio, it's yours.
Don't be surprised if the X was thrown up on this one. Don't be surprised. So, 3.25, 3.5 for this. A fast-paced, high-energy, high-flying match ensued, especially down the stretch. Dragon Lee and Ray Phoenix showed out down the stretch and unfortunately, the attention in the arena turned to Hall of Famer Rey Mysterio, who was attended to by WWE's medical staff and needed to be carried out of the arena. If he is seriously injured and forced to miss his match with El Grande Americano after months of feuding with Chad Gable and company on Raw, it will be a massive disappointment for the performer himself and all he built with Chad Gable. Wade Barrett said on commentary, "We've had some great newcomers from that world of Lucha Libre, but do not forget about Dragon Lee. You hear him, Triple H. And Ray Phoenix and Dragon Lee are seriously excellent, as are the Creed brothers. Here's to Triple H and company figuring out something significant for them to do post-WrestleMania." I'm going to make a bold prediction right here and right now. I think Rey Mysterio is out of WrestleMania. I think he's going to miss WrestleMania. I think what they should do is they should have a replacement opponent for El Grande Americano. And I think that replacement opponent should be Ray Phoenix, especially after the events of what happened tonight earlier on in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal.
I agree. I think that would be a good choice. Yes.
Because of the fact that Chad Gable himself was in that Battle Royal. Who eliminated Chad Gable from that Battle Royal? It was Ray Phoenix. Ray Phoenix eliminated him. And then shortly thereafter, there was El Grande Americano, and he eliminated Ray Phoenix. Based on all of this, it sounds to me, guys, that I believe, and I hate to say this, I believe in my heart of hearts, Rey Mysterio is gonna have to miss WrestleMania here. I think he's done. If he can go, if he somehow manages to find a way to go, my respect level for this man, which is already high enough as it is, my respect for him would go even higher. It would go sky high if somehow, some way he still pushes through and goes with this thing. But with how serious this is not a bold prediction. This is an actual prediction. Rey Mysterio is done. He's out of WrestleMania. And should that be the case, there should be a replacement.
We need to wait, Florio, to see what the initial report is going to be tomorrow.
Yeah, we will definitely keep an eye on it tomorrow.
We hope it's nothing serious, but from all indications I'm hearing, it is serious enough.
We need to wait until it's official.
We do need to wait and see if it's official, but I'm just doing my professor thing, as MF dubbed me as the professor as we started here.
Oh no, definitely. But we need to wait to hear from the actual doctors.
Yes,
of what it is before we can officially say, yeah, he's out.
Yeah. We definitely will monitor this, and we're gonna pump the brakes.
I mean, as of right now, the match is still on.
As of now, the match is still on, but we have
But
to
we'll
wait
see
and
what
see.
I'm sure they're going to be running tests, and they're going to go through everything. He's going to probably have an MRI, and
Yep.
we probably won't know until tomorrow.
Yeah.
Countdown
So
show.
But
until we
just
know more,
but
the only thing we could do is just speculate with what we're
yeah,
hearing.
yeah, and that is true. And there's no doubt about it. We are speculating. However, just off the just off the story that we're hearing, just off of the reports that I'm hearing from Vegas, and I'm just going off of the source reporting that I'm getting, and that is that it's not looking good. So I'm not saying that it is a given or not. I'm just saying that from the reports I'm getting, it's not good. It is up in the air. We're holding out hope, but right now, that's all that we're saying. That's all that's going on right now.
Absolutely.
So here we go. Main event segment of the night. It was the final face off. Cody Rhodes and John Cena and Anthony.
Yes.
Wow. What a way to close it to head into WrestleMania.
Does Cody Rhodes have the guts to do what is necessary to win, or will he stay loyal to the fans? It was the question John Cena asked the WWE champion in the last verbal exchange before their WrestleMania 41 main event. Cody Rhodes responded to his opponent's condescending words with a few verbal knockouts of his own, winning over a crowd in Las Vegas that was only 60-40 in favor of him to that point. The crowd dynamic revealed what may be a very interesting reaction to Sunday's main event, with more in favor of John Cena than WWE may have expected. How will that affect any potential appearance by The Rock and the impact of that moment on the outcome? For now, this was another entertaining verbal exchange, if nothing else, with John Cena making his point and laying out the narrative, while Cody Rhodes fought back with a few bombs of his own before countering an attitude adjustment and delivering crossroads to put an end to the segment. Excuse me. Countering an attitude adjustment and delivering crossroads to put an end to the segment. John Cena said the reason there isn't a wrestling retirement is because every other wrestler is a scared, insecure loser. Cena told the fans, I have love, joy, and worth in my life. I don't need a single damn one of you. Cena said, you will lose because you care about them. Losers don't write history. Winners do. Cena also said, these people will always make up a version of the truth they want to believe. He was not necessarily lying about that. You didn't need the tattoo or the suit because Sunday I'm going to make you somebody, Cena said. Somebody who has to sever ties with the losers in your life. Cody said, you called me underwhelming. Well, you're overrated. And then there was one particular thing that he said, and Bullock and I ate this up during our abbreviated SmackDown chat tonight. Cody said, he said to John Cena, you are paler than Sting at Starrcade 1997. Cody Rhodes said with a killer line, born in pro wrestling podcasts, a la Conrad Thompson. And then he also said, the whole world saw you saunter around butt-ass naked at the Oscars for the people you run errands for now. The hits kept coming for the champ. So, a very entertaining verbal exchange indeed. Very well done. Cody got over on Cena again. We all know what this means. We're looking at Booking 101. It's very likely, it's even more likely now that John Cena is going to leave WrestleMania as the undisputed WWE champion and get that number 17. So, great way to close it out. Not much more to say. Michael Bullock, wow. Man, what an exchange.
Yeah, what an exchange that was. I mean, John Cena thought he was going to roast, toast, and burn to a crisp Cody Rhodes, but with all the things he said, especially with his continuing, I mean, basically, once again, calling out the fans, basically saying that they don't matter to him and all that BS that he says. But man, oh man, when Cody rebutted, oh boy, he went to town on Cena and then some. I mean, like you said, basically is saying, you know what? Is this what you fight for? And Cody knows that, basically said, you know what? There's a graveyard of talent who is going to disagree with Cena and basically say, you know what? Do you know any of the names of the production people? And this is a different WWE, but since eliminations, he basically said that Cena is overrated. And you know, guys, you know the IWC was eating that up when Cody said that. Because you've heard the IWC that John Cena is overrated. And you know they had to have loved that. And also saying that he is a paler than staying at Starrcade 97. I'm like, woo boy. That was and then just when you thought he was done roasting Cena, oh no, he wasn't. He said, "You know what? You want to call me an errand boy? You know what? And
Well,
I'm right here."
okay,
And
because you cut it out a lot. I didn't even
well,
hear half the stuff you were saying.
and the thing is, well, basically saying the same thing the IWC has told John Cena: you can't wrestle. I'm like, wow. I mean, and you saw that pretty much angered John Cena. And then John Cena's like, you know what? At WrestleMania, when I beat you, I don't need to wrestle. And Fletch and Florio, you know that was John Cena not only taking a shot at Cody Rhodes, you know that he was taking a shot at the IWC for all the years of them saying you can't wrestle. Well, guess what, John Cena? You have to wrestle if you're going to beat the champ. If you want to prove them wrong. So, and in the end, you end up getting Crossroads again. So, great way to close it out. But Fletch, my goodness. Cody just roasted John Cena big time with all those things he said.
Yeah, but Cena also almost ended Cody's career with his promo. And let's not gloss over that at all. Because that's what everybody's talking about is that they both got theirs. This is one of those where you can evenly say this was evenly drawn because those fans right at the beginning, that was a pro John Cena crowd. I don't care what the hell you say. The fans were on the side of John Cena and they were booing Cody Rhodes. And you noticed it. I noticed it. And I was stunned
Oh, I
because
noticed it too, and I was even stunned as well.
I did not think that was going to happen. This is starting to feel like WrestleMania 18, Hulk Hogan and The Rock. This is almost similar. I honestly think You're going to get a lot of Cena fans, more than Cody fans, on Sunday night at WrestleMania. I really think it's going to happen now. I've said it, and I've gotten into so many fights with both these guys that it looks like it's starting to come to fruition. The fans are turning on Cody Rhodes. And I knew it. I sensed it. I called this 1 year ago. And you guys both ripped me apart for it. Both ridiculed me for this. And it started. I noticed it. So it's that too much, too fast type of mentality. Now, if Cody wins, then I think he'll be fine. But this is the one thing too. This is not just a usual United States crowd. So this is why I'm not going to look this in. But there's a lot of international people coming here. There's a lot of Euros, a lot from Asia, a lot from Africa, from all parts of the world. They're all converging on Vegas. And these are the fans that are, if you think about it, Anthony, you alluded to it, that 60-40 split, the lion's share went with Cena tonight. They did. There's no doubt in my mind. What is going to be the reaction on Sunday night? Is it going to be that similar 50-50 split? If it is, then this can go a number of different ways. But if this crowd starts to tend to go more John Cena than Cody Rhodes, you got a problem on your hands on Sunday night. And I will openly admit, I said that 17 is going to happen. Now more than ever, I don't even think about it. I believe it. John Cena is going to become the new, undisputed WWE champion when this is all said and done on Sunday night.
And you know what? And you know what else, Fletch? When he wins that title, he's going to stick it to the IWC, who has said for so many years during his career that you can't wrestle. You're overrated.
And guess what? What did Triple H said the other night? What did Triple H said about the IWC? What do you think has been happening this whole time? This is their way of sticking it to the IWC, that we know what the hell we're doing, and we're not going to let internet geeks control our business.
And you know John Cena, when he wins that title, I'm sure he's going to stick that middle finger up and say, F you, IWC, for all the negative things you said about me. I'm the one who broke the damn record. And the thing is,
the whole time I've been asking, where were the lies in any of John Cena's promos? Where were the lies?
And I did not see one. Not a damn one.
And yet, nobody has even had the guts, the balls, or the cojones to step up to me and tell me where there was lies. So, I mean, what the hell are we talking about here? That's what I'm saying. So, we're done. We'll leave it there. We'll park it there. Overall review?
Yeah, before it gets out of hand.
This was a solid SmackDown Live. Very good show. Very, this was exactly what it needed it to be. Now, could it have been better? Absolutely. But this was about 7.5 out of 10. I thought they did everything right. Yes, there was a couple of matches that were a little shorter. We wish it would have been longer. Anthony Florio, it's yours. You get your final word.
A very good hard sell here tonight, especially with the appearance of John Cena. With most major angles and booking decisions already in place before tonight's show on the USA Network, it felt like a relatively safe show that did little to convince fans that were not already invested in WrestleMania or watching the show to decide to. The Carmelo Hayes winning the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal was a nice surprise. And the Seth Rollins promo at the top of the show was arguably the best of his entire career. But it was another loaded 3-hour show that, with all due respect, I think would have made a greater impact had it been a 2-hour show. But other than that, this is a good 7.5 out of 10. I agree with you on that. So there's nothing left to say except take us home, Bullock.
7.5 for me. I agree with everything you said. So with that being said, Fletch, let's close it.
All right, and we are indeed going to close it. So tomorrow night will be the recap of NXT Stand and Deliver and the first night of WrestleMania. This will probably happen when WrestleMania goes off the air. We don't know when. 10:30, possibly 11 is what we're being told. So if we do, we'll recap it. Then on Sunday night will be night 2 of WrestleMania. So we'll recap that as well. Tuesday night is a ridiculously Raw, the Raw after Mania, and the NXT after Stand and Deliver. Then Thursday is the return of TXN Sports World, and then 1 week from tonight we do it all over again with the Cerebral Smack Talk. So for Anthony Foyo, for Michael Bullock, I am Michael Fletcher. Have a good night, everybody, and we'll see you all tomorrow night. Bye-bye.